This is the Super Meteor 650, Royal Enfield's first big twin cruiser. Now you've seen it many times, we have brought you the walk around video of this motorcycle earlier, so you know virtually everything about this motorcycle. But now it's time to put it through its paces, and that's why we are here in Rajasthan, especially in Jaisalmer, where you have some of the finest highways where you can test this motorcycle to its absolute limit. So how does the Super Meteor 650 fare as a cruiser, as a super cruiser? That's what Royal Enfield claims it to be. Well, let's find out.
Too small, I got big dreams. You just starting, I'm way ahead at the end scenes. Started reading and dodging all of the quick schemes. Money like your Spotify, boy, I got 10 streams. And I'm still looking for more. My people, they got a soar, I'm putting that on the...
Before we get on with the riding impressions, let's take a closer look at the Super Meteor's aesthetics. Now, when it comes to the design, the Super Meteor has all the hallmarks of a classic cruiser. You've got a low and wide seat, swept back handlebar, a teardrop-shaped fuel tank, 19-inch front and 16-inch rear alloy wheels shod with fat tires, a solid rear fender, classic round lamps all around, and an overall beefy look. The foot-forward riding position and low center of gravity make for a laid-back and comfy riding posture. In typical RE fashion, there are a host of colors and customization options available with the Super Meteor. The standard variant has 5 color options, whereas the tourer version, which is the one you see with the windscreen, touring seats and a pillion backrest and grab rail, has 2 color options on offer. What's more, the Super Meteor is the most modern RE in terms of features and equipment. It's the first RE to feature full LED headlamps as well as upside-down forks. Elsewhere though, you'll find familiar bits that you see on lower RE models. For instance, the part analog, part digital instrument cluster, a tripper navigation pod, and the switchgear are all very similar to the Meteor 350. However, to give the Super Meteor a more upmarket feel, the switch grips have a brushed aluminum finish which looks quite good. Overall, the quality and fit and finish of materials are more than satisfactory, with little to complain about. However, we'll still wait for a few months before giving a final verdict on its build quality, because as we have experienced in the past with new Royal Enfields, some panels and mirrors do come off loose in just a couple of months. So we have clocked around 100 kilometers with the Super Meteor today, and it was all straight highways. And I think there are 3 things that stood out for me. First, it's the comfort, second, the performance, and third is the handling. Now I'll start with comfort first, because this is a very accommodating motorcycle. This is the most spacious Royal Enfield that you'll get, because the seat is very wide, the squab is very wide, and you sit in a very commanding, in a very relaxed position. So it feels like the Meteor, but again, it's bigger, it's larger, and it's more spacious in that sense. It feels like a bigger motorcycle. Now, again, the ergonomics are also very relaxed. The handlebars are tall and wide, and you can sit very comfortably and munch miles on this motorcycle. So like I said, we have covered 100 kilometers today, more than that, but it felt very comfortable, and I think I can go longer on this motorcycle very easily. Now, the second part is, of course, the performance. This has the same 648cc parallel twin engine, so it has got the same performance, around 47 bhp and 52 Newton meters of torque. So that means the performance is not just adequate, it's actually quite a fast motorcycle, and you can do around 140 kilometers per hour very easily on these highways. I didn't push it beyond that, but 140 I saw it very easily. The refinement of the motor is also quite great. So when you're riding this motorcycle, of course this is a parallel twin, it is quite refined. It doesn't have a tack, but at higher RPMs, that means at high speeds around 120 or above, that's when you can feel a little bit of buzz from the foot pegs and the handlebar. But below that, it is quite comfortable, and you can cruise very effortlessly on this motorcycle. So this is where it feels like a bigger motorcycle. It has got the performance and it has got the comfort as well. Now, where Royal Enfield has completely stepped up their game is in terms of ride and handling. So this has got updated suspension. That means it has got Showa big piston fork front suspension, and it has also got twin shocks at the back. But overall, the suspension setup is such that on highways, when you're cruising at high speeds, it feels very stable, it feels very supple. But at the same time, when you're going around a corner, even at high speeds, on these long flowing corners, it feels very stable, it feels very mature, it feels like a big bike again. So this is unlike any Royal Enfield that we have ridden. Even the likes of Continental and Interceptor, they have conventional forks, telescopic forks, but this has upside down forks, and it shows. This is where the difference has definitely come in. This motorcycle definitely feels much better than the Interceptor or the Continental. And I think if you want to go long distance touring, this is the motorcycle to go for because it feels very comfortable. This is the tourer version, so it has got this nice windscreen. There is no wind blast and you can cruise comfortably at 120 also. You can cruise all day. So for me, that's what stands out. And if I have to say one thing that really is the best about this motorcycle is of course the dynamics package, the handling and ride, because in that department, that's where Royal Enfield has upped their game, and I think they've set new benchmarks for themselves for sure. The Super Meteor's braking system comprises a 320mm front disc, which is the same size as the Interceptor, and a 300mm rear disc, which is 60mm bigger than the Interceptors. Now, surprisingly, the brakes felt adequate for the job and brought the Super Meteor to a halt from triple-digit speeds in a reassuring manner. Now, this was something I didn't expect given the weight of the motorcycle. The OE spec C8 Zoom cruise tires also offered decent grip levels, which was again a pleasant surprise. Now, it's not a perfect motorcycle. There are some bits that might put you off. So, of course, it is a big motorcycle. It is a heavy motorcycle. Even though the seat height is just 740mm, it's quite accessible. But at 240 kilograms, it's around 39 kilograms more than the Interceptor. Plus, it's a long motorcycle. It has a wheelbase of 1500mm. So, if you're going to take a U-turn, it feels quite cumbersome. And of course, it has a large turning radii. So that's something that you'll feel when you're riding this motorcycle in the city. Apart from that, yeah, the clutch lever in typical Royal Enfield fashion, it is a little heavy. So if you're operating it at low speeds, you do feel it. But overall, the transmission quality is quite good. The shift quality is quite good. And yeah, one more thing, it's the ground clearance. So it's just got a ground clearance of 135mm. But today, as you can see, I'm on an off-road patch of road. Didn't possess any problem. It didn't scrape its belly. So for me, it didn't possess any problem, but probably if you're sitting too up, it might scrape. 135mm, well, actually it's quite low. But as of today, I didn't feel any problem with that. So these are the only slight bit of niggles with the Super Meteor 650. The Super Meteor is Royal Enfield's most premium product yet, and that clearly reflects in its pricing, with its ex-showroom price tag ranging between 3.49 lakh to 3.79 lakh. The Super Meteor commands a hefty premium over its 650cc siblings. However, considering what you get in return, it's more than justified. The Super Meteor is a plush and premium cruiser that truly feels like a world-class product. There are no compromises here in terms of performance, handling or comfort. It's a super cruiser in the true sense of the term. If there's one thing that doesn't work in its favor, well, it's perhaps the fact that unlike other REs, the Super Meteor isn't as versatile, meaning it's a bit of a heavy bruiser for daily commutes. But if you're someone who's just into munching miles and riding into the sunsets, the Super Meteor 650 is the bargain of the decade, and then some.
It's gotta be real big. I gotta make it just for my kids and for their kids, just kids. That's wealth years and years. Promise my brother soon as he out to finish this bid, we finna do it bigger than anybody ever did. The odds is real big, jobs that's real big. Satan trying a little, my God is real big. Stayed up on the grind on the cars is real big. I gotta do it big. The only